as we go in depth into every issue that impacts our lives, our communities, and our country.
Today, I choose to be happy, to be thankful and grateful for life, not denying the fact that we wake up to one or several disheartening news in the country. I am hopeful that Nigeria will be great someday. I don't know about you, I don't know about Chef, but I'm hopeful that Nigeria will be great someday. A beautiful morning to our esteemed viewers. You're welcome to now streaming program showing on ACNN TV, reaching you live from the capital city of the nation. I am your anchor for today, Rachel Ebunu, and I have with me my delectable and beautiful co-anchor.
Thank you very much. I to be happy to today. So, there is a shigementin going on, but I
Maybe
chose
you
not
need
to use
to
it.
explain what that shit
We will explain that later on the show. Good morning, viewers. You're welcome to now stream it.
Good morning, Shewa.
Yeah.
Welcome. And we have with us here, he said we hijacked him here. You're welcome. He is Barrister James Nzago. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here. Blessed am I among women.
Yes, so hope you're happy today.
Yeah, I am. I'm happy today.
Welcome to the program. So, viewers, remember you can join the conversation via our various social media platforms and through the numbers showing on your screen. It is always a pleasure hearing from you. But first, we'll take a look at some select national dailies before we go into some trending stories making rounds in and around the country. It's over to you, Sheila.
All right. I'll start with the Punch newspaper. Then I'll go right with the story below the photo, below the picture story that says cybersecurity level will worsen hardship, and that has caused a lot of uproar among the citizens because there is also a stamp duty that was a stamp duty levy that was said to be carried out.
When you think we've heard it
All
we
each
live
day
up
comes
to-
with, that's where the shigimentin comes, that they, each day comes with one thing. There is no news that say, oh, this is a relief. There's definitely one thing or the other to be sad about, but we choose to be happy, right?
We choose to be happy.
All right. Then the next story beside that is bullying police launch as Ekiti Varsity expels female student, and we have more on that on page 31. And the story next to this is Ladoja withdraws lawsuit, clears path for Olubadan enthronement. More of that on page 31 of the Punch newspaper. And speaking on the picture story here, we have a porn star testifying against Trump at Osh money trial, and we have more of that on page 38. And to the lead story, federal government rubbishes Binance CEO's bribery allegation. The kicker here says Binance CEO allegation, the visionary no going back on trial. Government officials declare. More of this story in particular on page 17. And to the story above the masthead, federal government woos global investors for 17 oil blocks. More of this story also on page 17. And we have a 7.5 billionaire fraud, and the EFCC grilling 20 NSC DC contractors, 10 officers. Hopefully we hear something, that something is done, because this is what we hear of the fraud, but we don't know anything
How
that
it
happens.
ends up.
So this is it. They've made it official now, and they've let us know that 7 billion naira is out. So, but however happens after this, we don't get to know. Well, more of this on page 7, and the last story I would take. Okay, I'll take 2 stories more. Anger as FIJ reporter spent 7th day in police cell. We're still celebrating World Press Day last week Friday, so I don't know why this should still. I thought there is freedom of speech.
And you know, of recent, so many journalists, you don't get to hear their story. They've been captured in police custody,
yes,
and they
molested,
molested,
and all of that.
I don't know where this comes to play. We have the freedom of expressing our views, and we as a citizens, we have the right to talk, to say when the government is not doing right, when it's doing the right thing. We need to view our opinions. So where have we gone wrong? How does freedom of expressing our freedom of speech comes into play in all
of this? Thank God we have a barrister here, because I want to ask: is that the freedom of speech Act, does he have a clause that we are not aware about?
The only clause you don't know about is that you have freedom of speech now, but not freedom after speech. That's the only silent clause that is not written. It's an unwritten code. There's freedom of speech, but not freedom after speech is what is not guaranteed, and I cannot even guarantee you that it's not spelled out. So you have a right to say what you want to say, but then what happens after then, it's another thing. So,
all right, Rachel.
But then the Constitution we know. The Constitution we know is the Constitution we know. Section 39 says freedom of speech and freedom of press and the expression of yourself. But then there is an unwritten code. Freedom after speech is not guaranteed.
Unwritten code. So yes. Rachel, we have to be careful with what we say here.
We are not voicing out with whatever it is that is happening. I tend to disagree, because we've done that several times. At the end, where has it taken us to? See the NSAS saga that happened 4 years back.
Yes.
How did it go?
You know, I said something here some time ago, and I still maintain it, that in Nigeria we are not practicing democracy, and in most of African countries.
Yes.
I was opportune to speak in a forum that has to do with Africans, and I told them in Africa we are yet to practice democracy. We are indirectly practicing autocracy, and there is another word I'm thinking of where a select few rule. So not a select few, a clique rules. Clitocracy. That's what we are practicing. We are not yet practicing democracy, because the dividends of democracy is yet to come down to us. Because if you say the press is the watchdog of the government, if you know a dog, you have a dog in your house, you know actually what a dog does. A dog watches over the environment. If he suspects any movement, he shouts.
Yes.
It does not necessarily be to that an act has been committed, or the dog actually saw someone. The dog perhaps saw a shadow that looks like someone. The dog raises alarm. And that is what a watchdog, the press, is supposed to be. When you suspect any sinister arrangement or something by the government, you start shouting.
Yes.
And when you start shouting, even if there was such a plan, you put them in check. But unfortunately,
the
press is not even a watchdog. The press is just a watch cat who is sitting at home.
It's a watch lizard.
Why I said a cat is that the government wants to feed the press, so just feed them what they want.
And that's why a lot of press are actually compromised.
I know of a television station that whatever the government wants, that is what they say to them. You don't have to.
Now, will you blame them?
To suit it, you make it to suit the government and not for the people.
Will you blame them?
But the
with what is happening?
The press is not free. The guest invited by the press is not free. I still repeat, I was here one time, and after speaking, what I saw scrolling was the views expressed by the guest and the views of the guest and all that of this, because the press is scared. Why can't the press leave it and then let it? It's my own opinion, but then am I speaking the truth? That is the problem. The press should speak that is why it is opinion. Freedom of expression. What you're expressing is not the view of the government. What you're expressing is not the view of the head of state. What you're expressing is your view. And that is what the Constitution provides for. Freedom of expression. There is freedom of speech, there is freedom of expression, all encapsulated in that particular section. Speech, expression, and the press, and freedom to distribute information through a media. So it is called expression. What are you expressing? It is my opinion. It is not your own. And no matter how you look at it, our opinions must differ.
Yeah,
because our interest comes into play. Perhaps you belong to the political class. Your expression will differ from mine because I am
natural.
I am an activist who is out for the masses. You are for the government. So it is natural. Even in your homes, you discover that you don't express the same views. So that is why it is called freedom of expression. So it is my view, and I am expected to express it. But where I express it, and I'm scared of what happens the next time. I finished somewhere one day, and I was scared because I was thinking of how to come downstairs because I don't know if some people on black suit are waiting for me somewhere. And it's really unfortunate. How did we get to this point? If we actually practice democracy, we should speak. As we speak, there are a lot of journalists who are languishing in cells because of an offense. What was their offense? They wanted to help the government. In all of these things, our interest is the working government.
And I was thinking, okay, by voicing out, you know your errors, you know where you're lacking behind. Is it not for you to fix it?
Exactly.
You come up
why
and do the
why the force? Why silencing people?
It's just that it's unfortunate that we have leaders who do not want to take correction.
That is
you feel whatever you do is the final. But government is transient. It's just for a period of time, and you move and you sit back to face your mess.
Well, if we have leaders who can fight over seats. Well, okay, my freedom should be guaranteed. I'm just saying.
Of course, if we have leaders who fight for just front row, not seat, front
row,
front row.
Important
things to say, so, and it's not for. I don't know if how that affects.
And it's unfortunate that even at that position, wherever you sit, your voice will still be heard. So what is the fuss about the front row?
I don't think we will know that.
It's okay. We may not know. There may be something true, very true.
Anyways, the last story I'll read on the Punch newspaper: warnings of anarchy as APC demands Fubara's removal, and we have more on that on page 2. Over to you, Rachel.
All right. Moving on to the Vanguard newspaper, and I'll take it above the masthead on politics. Edo Guba Obaseki. Legacy group sets for showdown. See the story on page 7. Okay, like Shewa said, I read the story on Fubara. Impeach Fubara now. Rivers APC urges 27 assembly members. The story is on page 12. And the story on page 6. Popular, the new masquerade actress Ovularia dies at 81. I don't know how many people knows her. May her soul rest in peace.
Amen.
Yes, it was a sitcom that every household wants to sit down and watch back then. May her soul rest in peace. And we have this picture story. First Lady receives first Nigerian female Sandhurst graduate. All right, that is a big one to Nigeria, and congratulations to her. On page 24, President Tinubu's first year in office, propelling Nigeria towards renewal. This is coming from Mohammed Idris, Information Minister, propelling Nigeria towards renewal. Okay, controversy trails CBN cybersecurity levy on electronic transactions. The kicker says NLC rejects levy, demands immediate withdrawal. See story on page 20. We're going to talk a little about that in the course of our discussion. And on page 8, Tinubu returns to Nigeria today. I think he's done that already this morning. I saw some pictures of him arriving this morning. And that is it on the Vanguard newspaper. Like we always say, we advise our viewers to go get their newspapers for themselves out there. We can't just read out the headlines here and it's enough. Go get the papers for today and get the details of the stories we have before us this morning. Like we rightly said, Barrister, every day we wake up to one news, disheartening news or the other, as if you think you've heard it all and you just wake up to another thing again. We hear of cybersecurity level, electronic
don't forget, we are still dealing from the electricity tariff hike. We are still dealing with the for scarcity,
despite the fact that they are telling us that they've not increased the pump price
exactly
yet. Okay.
All of this, we're still dealing with it. People cannot get fuel. A lot of vehicle owners parked their vehicles at home and using public transport. So, because what's the point of going around to get cars? So, all of this is still going on, and yet this
And
is coming.
I don't know if my producer is ready. We have a short clip of a speech by Tinubu.
Okay.
To, yes, to crowd up all this. I don't know if she's ready with that.
Okay, on the cybersecurity issue, I just want to give a breakdown of how much you will spend to send 10,000 naira, just for the records.
Okay.
So to send 10,000 naira in Nigeria as at May 2024, sender cybersecurity levy 50 naira, transfer fee 25 naira, 7.5% VAT fee 1 naira 88 kobo, SMS notification 4 naira. So total cost of a sender to send 10,000 naira is 80 naira. That's like POS charge. If now
on top of how much?
10,000 naira. Hold on, I'm not done. For the receiver, stamp duty 50 naira, SMS notification 4 naira. Total cost for the receiver is 54 naira. So to send 10,000 naira for the sender and receiver, you are spending 134 naira 88 kobo for 10 naira for 10,000 naira. So the real value exchanged is 9,865 naira 12 kobo. So if somebody is to send 10,000 naira to you, make sure that it is sending the real value, because actually what you'll be receiving at the end of this is 9,865. And we'll have a country and we'll have leaders.
We have a country.
Okay,
Okay,
the video
is this video
okay.
Ready. So
we reduce the purchasing power of the people, we can further slow down the economy. Let's widen the tax net. Those who are not paying now, if it is inclusive of Bola Tinubu, let the nets get bigger and we take in more taxes, and that is what we must do in the country.
So we just had this listen and watched this short clips. I'm going to say this is premeditated, because people were there clapping while he was making this speech. That was then. This is happening. This is reality. Whatever he said is happening. Reducing the purchasing power. As a person, if I was buying a module of milk before now, definitely I will have to reduce it. Reducing it, I will have to reduce the number of times I will drink tea or anything that I will have to go with milk. We wake up with different policies, tariffs here, back and center. Barrister, you're shaking your head. I don't know.
I feel like
Did
crying.
we miss it?
I feel like weeping. I feel like crying and trying to hold my tears. It's really unfortunate that we have leaders who care less about the people they are leading. We are not in slave trade. We are not in slave trade. You don't enslave us because we elected you to lead us. I told somewhere when I went to present a paper on democracy, I said, what we have now is no longer government of the people for the people.
No,
it is government of the few, by the few, for the few.
When you hear the Minister of Power talking, he doesn't talk like someone who was elected.
Because
somebody that will come out.
Yes,
it's just a government of the few. The few decide what happens to us. You wake up one morning, you make rules. There's no place for interrogation. There's no case for engagement on the public.
That is what we're being told.
Our president said this during the campaigns, and people clapped. I bet you the people that clapped didn't even understand what he was saying. 95.5%. I said 95.5% of the people that clapped there are just sycophants who did not even understand what he said. And my joy is that all of us are suffering it. We are all Nigerians. Of course, you will not separate some people to pay the tax and some people not pay. All of us will pay the tax. But now my question is, you are paying tax over what? Over increased salaries, over poverty, over fuel scarcity, over purchase of fuel for 690 naira on that queue. We thank God that the queues are gone lately. within the few days.
In some areas, it was more.
Exactly. We still
It
hope
was
that
more.
we hope that it is gone for real, because in Nigeria something goes today and you wake up the next morning and it's another news. Salaries are not increased. Fuel is we are buying fuel from 140 something, it moved to 190 something, and before you know it is 690, and above that in some places. And with electricity tariff is on the increase, is something else, and we don't even have the light.
We don't have the light.
We don't have the light.
They banned the whatever band that is being placed. It's all scam.
So every day is one taxation on the other. In fact, this is called multiple taxation. We are being multiple taxed in Nigeria. And my challenge is that the NLC is not speaking. Nobody is talking. NLC will make noise today, and tomorrow they're off.
Those ones are like stooge in the hands of the government, because when they come out and whatever they have to say, the moment the government calls them aside, are they not
beyond the NLC? Where is the opposition party? Are we running one party system in Nigeria? Where is the opposition party? Where is PDP? Where is Labour Party?
Every man for himself.
And where is the SDP and all the rest? They are not speaking, and Nigerians are passing through abject poverty, suffering. People can't even afford a square meal again.
Yes.
You go to buy things in the market, this price, because everybody is being taxed, down to the market women. And we have a government that should care for the people. It is really most unfortunate. I woke up to that news yesterday and I was like, what is this? Going on?
They keep saying we don't have enough money to fund some of these things. And I wonder, for a nation where anytime they are new elected people to serve the nation, they renovate their offices, they change their cars, and when you hear
please, they don't change cars, they purchase heavy cars.
They purchase heavy SUVs. So what happened to the ones that they're using? Of which the ones that they're using?
No, it's a parting gift. When you live with it.
So that's
that is where anybody would do anything to get there. I said something somewhere. I said, let's make politics free. You are coming to serve as president or national assembly, you are not on no salary. You are doing the lost work.
Exactly.
You are doing the lost work. So let's see who really wants to serve us.
Nobody.
Let's see who really wants to serve us. Well, because it's a lucrative business.
Okay, sorry, we have a caller. Hello, good morning, Susan.
Yes, I overheard the conversation that we're paying a tax for even for fuel for 600 and something naira. I don't know, probably it's still fair in that place. Honestly, what we have here is we're buying fuel at 1,200 naira. Salaries are not increased. Everybody is suffering. In fact, you see that you are just being worked up. You are working, you don't have salary. At the end of the day, what you have as your take home, you have used it for expenses. Honestly speaking, that's not acceptable at all. If there should be a policy to just downsize on these things, because it's biting hard. The basic need like food has gone so high that the people, maybe 9 family or 6 family or whatever, cannot even afford to eat. It's very bad. At the end of the day, your salary, you have used it, you didn't have anything. So you are not even pay is not even working. Pay more than you earn. You are being taxed more than you earn, which is not correct at all. So government should come out with a just single policy that can change these things. And I mean, we are producers of these things. GDP of Nigeria can't stop Nigerians. It's just mismanagement and sheer greed. Let something be done. A policy I know can change things, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Susan, for your contribution.
Sorry, picking up from what Susan said, I gave a young man a lift this morning who was going to work. So I was conversing with him. So how are you faring as a young man? So I picked him from my house as I was leaving. He was going to Wuse. I had to say, I said he needs to get to Apo Bridge. From there, he will trek to Area 3.
Wow.
The distance.
If you know the distance. And then from here, that's where he can get that 150 naira from Apo Bridge to Area 3 will pay his transport to somewhere.
Wow.
So I had to go as far as dropping him at Area 3. I went out of my way.
Wow.
So I was asking, he says, sir, at the end, my salary is 100,000 naira. But I spend 80,000 naira on transportation.
Wow.
Monthly.
You're going to feed?
And you're going to feed, and you're going to eat, and you're paying house rent.
Wow.
And you are talking about taxation here and there. Let's tax them and reduce the purchasing power.
What?
I mean, we
That's
need to do
ludicrous.
better. And the challenge I have with Nigerians is we complain here and it ends
And
there.
it ends there.
Nobody is holding our leaders accountable. Look at what Susan just said. 1,000 something. We are saying 690.
Yeah, in Gombe it was 1,006.
And you can imagine. So imagine buying fuel for 1,600.
Yes, it was
And
1,006.
buying the fuel for that amount of money, it goes down to every other thing you're going to buy.
Beyond buying the fuel, how much can a liter is 1,006? So how many
much
liters will
can
take
you
you
buy?
from where you are going to another point?
Now this is sad.
So I think our leaders should really care about us. If we have leaders who care about us, our president is like a father to us. He should actually play the father role. I think he has a say in this whole thing. If he steps in, these things will actually be, these policies will actually be reviewed and things done better. Nigerians are suffering. Nigerians are dying every day out of suffering and poverty. Our president should rise to the occasion as the father of this nation and do something.
You know, speaking on May Day, that's the past Workers' Day. Now, there was a particular video that went viral. It was actually 30 years ago. It was actually 30 years ago. They've been so scarcity 30 years ago. In the next 30.
Plan. There's no blueprint.
Like Barrister rightly said, these people are not concerned about the welfare of the citizens because they have every other thing at their beck and call. To the least things they are being catered for. We saw some months back, Shawa, you saw the meat they eat, the vegetables, see the money accrued to those kind of things. What the totaling of everything, it can feed the
How
whole
many Nigerians
nation.
can afford a piece of meat today? How many Nigerian homes can afford a piece
Just
of
get
meat?
the food.
Meat is chicken. I remember I told someone, I said, back in the days in Yola, we'll buy goat 7,000.
And now goat
full
is a luxury.
7,000. Coming to Abuja, at some point, I still purchased goat for 10,000 naira.
Then.
Full goat. I'm not talking about one leg. Full goat.
That was there.
Full goat. But now, I asked somebody, said 100. I said, I'm not saying
Goat.
cow. I'm saying goat.
Goat, yes. Eating goat meat now is luxury. It's rich people that eat goat meat. The prices of that, the prices of chicken, the worst of it all is turkey.
If you eat chicken now, then you must be from the elite.
So we're still talking about whatever it is that is going on in the country. The Senate president here is telling us foreigners earning more from mining than Nigerians. When I read the story, is it that he doesn't know?
Why are they coming out to say
why is it coming out to say
now?
this? Because this is what is happening. These people are being paid in dollar. They are using your land to do these things, and the laborers, those they use to do their dirty works, are Nigerians. And you end up seeing what the meager pay these people take home at the end of the day. And I'm sure the government gets their own cut from this, because you coming out to say it doesn't hold water. I don't know your take on this. It doesn't hold water for me.
But I am still trying to wrap my head around the essence of the statement, because to me, it's a known fact.
This is
It's
what
a known fact.
yes.
We live in a country where we are treated as slaves, I repeat.
Okay.
I was at the airport one day. I'll give you a practical example. And then, you know, all the searching and everything. I was meant to remove my shoe, remove my belt and all that. But a foreigner came.
Okay.
And he was allowed to pass.
A foreigner.
A foreigner.
And this will never happen in their own country.
Mad. I was mad. All of us there screamed. We yelled at the officers. I don't understand. In our own country, you are making us slaves, and somebody that you are supposed to subject to thorough searching. You don't cross any, even, I'm not talking about,
is a stranger
I'm not talking about
your
Heathrow
land.
or any African airport. And you don't go, as a Nigerian, I don't go through thorough search. And here we are in our own airport, and somebody walks with his bag and then just pass the bag and walk freely and goes to drag the bag at the other side and passed us like a superior citizen. by the time
And
their
this is you
supervisor
going on,
we had to call on their
searching you like a
supervisor.
criminal.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
your
in my own
profile.
country, where I should just pass.
Okay.
So what were we talking about?
You know, there's the particular case of the federal government locking up the Chinese supermarket
Here in
where
Abuja.
they were told, and the turnout of the whole incident now is what they said was they only accept Chinese money for their product. Now, what they go there
To their own country.
to their own country and have this kind of freedom?
You know the answer. There's no need to go far. Don't ask for that. You know the answer. Can you spend naira outside Nigeria? In any Nigerian shop?
How is that now?
So
And the way they said it is like, okay, we can reason with them.
in Nigeria, we allow anything. Tell you, I will have expatriates here who work here, and then they need to see. If we are talking about improving and growing our economy and our naira, this will grow when we allow these people change their currency at their airports or at their whatever.
The same way
or
we do
in Nigeria
when we go.
here when they come over here in order to spend naira. But as long as we allow them spend their currency, our naira will continue to reduce.
That's it.
Because with time, their currency becomes a means of legal tender in Nigeria. The same way dollar is a proper official legal tender in Nigeria now.
Yet they are going after the
Viewers,
binary
we
CEO.
always encourage you, call in, share your thoughts and your opinions on whatever it is you're facing out there. We can't stop talking about it until one day our leaders sit down and do the right thing. Please, our numbers are open. If you can't get through us, you can send in your comments through our various social media handles. We can't exhaust talking about our leaders, whatever it is, I'll call this punishment they are meting on us, and it has to stop very, very soon. This is the raining season. I don't know if it is our own human mentality. You have to wait for something to happen before you take proactive step. Flood. Federal government calls for relocation of people. Monitoring of dams. Kaduna residents seek help as rainstorm destroy houses, markets, and others. We know the right thing to do before this rain starts. I know they talk about a dam that needs to be created to avert this thing from long before my forefathers were born.
And other neighboring countries have fixed theirs.
So what is happening to Nigeria?
Sorry, while we're at it, I just got a message.
Okay.
Following your newspaper review from ACNN, we buy fuel here in Zaria at 1,000 naira to 1,100. Somebody just sent me the text message.
Okay.
So I'm here talking about
600
naira and 90 naira. Somebody is buying that. So now with 5,000, you're buying 5 liters.
Why
you buy 1,001, it is a little below 5 liters, 4 point something liters. And my question is, for us in Abuja here, 4 liters will not take you from this studio to the next junction. If you use a 6-plug engine, it's just to warm the car.
4 liters.
Now, how much is this person's salary? This person that sent me this text, how much is his salary? Maybe about 100,000. And then he spends 40,000 to buy 40 liters of fuel. That he will use.
He has family.
Of course, he has family of 4 children.
Oh wow.
And he has a wife.
Oh wow.
And dependents.
Now these are the questions.
Like the person you gave lift this morning.
Well, we just have to be
We just need to.
You spend whatever,
and my problem
you're being
is,
paid
part of our work as
transportation.
citizens is to hold the government accountable.
But the
listening
citizens
to
are
us.
laid back because of what has happened over time.
But we know in Nigeria we have a time fuel price was increased, and all of us took to the streets.
The people that were on the street are the ones in government
And
now.
so we should also be in the streets so that we can be in government tomorrow. It's as simple as that. What stops us from taking? I still blame NLC. They are saying we are the laborers here. They should be.
They are not doing what is
They are not doing
expected of
anything.
them. They
Where
are
is
not.
opposition? I still call
They
on
are not.
PDP. Where is PDP? Where is Labour Party? Where is SDP? Where is AC? All of them should come together and let us have a dialogue.
You hear them. You hear them come out in the next 3 to 3 years. They will come out with their campaign manifestos and all whatnot.
I weep for Nigeria every day, and at some point, I'm getting tired of talking about Nigeria, because it's as if the more we talk, the worse it becomes.
Like some people say, all these national stories, whatever. Some don't even watch their televisions anymore. They don't listen to radios. They don't read the newspapers, because it's disheartening and it gives them high blood pressure whenever
there's nothing
they read.
There's nothing that is helping in all of this that we're discussing, because we can discuss from now to tomorrow. The question is, are the government even paying attention? Do they care?
The issue is I discovered something. This is government. These are the people feeding the government information, and these are the people feeding of selfishness, thinking that I'll be here forever. See, this thing will not last forever. In a few years' time, max the current government 8 years and they are gone. Another government. In another 8 years, I'm gone, and I'm back to being a Nigerian.
Okay, I think we'll just have to.
Let me just finish this. Let me finish this. Now, the people who are telling them what is happening are refusing to tell them the right thing. That is the problem we have. I am there as a media assistant. I will see this thing we are saying now. I will tell them, Your Excellency, they say everything is going well.
Is okay.
And that is the problem we have.
Don't they know whatever it is happening? Must they tell them?
The task of being a leader is very Herculean, so they are not seeing. The people that are supposed to tell them are not also doing the right thing.
We need to agree on. We are our problem.
Gaskia.
That is just it. We are our problem. As we are complaining here, some people are still hailing the government that they are doing the right thing, that we are insensitive with our complaints, that how long has the government, as the present administration, how long has he used? Why are we not patient?
It's okay.
Okay, I think we'll need to drop this here. We'll need to drop this, because the more you keep on talking about the government of the day and everything that is going on, I don't want to, like I spoke about, I want to be happy.
Yeah, you spoke about hope.
I want to be happy, and we keep the hope alive. Someday, one day.
Is it the renewed hope?
No, not the renewed hope. Not this one that we are seeing. So we'll take a shot. It's renewed shaggy that we are experiencing now. So now we take a short break. When we come back, we'll talk on some controversial stories going on in the country. Please stay tuned. Thank you, viewers. Thank you for staying tuned. And we're still on the now streaming program. Still have our guest here in the studio, Barrister James. Thank you for all your contributions so far.
Thank you. Stay blessed to be among the women.
Thank you very much. And I have Shewa too. Shewa, smile. Smile.
Well,
what is it? What is happening?
You know, what we discussed before we went on the break has actually dampened down.
No, please come back.
All right.
Come back to life.
Okay.
All right. We have this controversial story going around, and we want to deal with it.
Something away from
the all the buhaha that is happening in the country.
Good news.
Is it a good news?
Oh, well.
It's annoying. It's annoying in another way. It's annoying in another way where you get to hear about the story. It's entitlement mentality. And this has to do with, okay, it happens, okay, let me just take it from here. My sister was telling me about a lady in her church. The husband told her to resign from her job this week because she came home late from work and decided to cook rice instead of the egusi soup the husband was craving for. And guess what? The husband is not working. He's been jobless for 6 years. This woman went to work. She came back. Okay.
Don't continue.
Came back.
I'll be back off.
She made rice for this human being.
And
he said he's not going to eat that. Because he told her he has been craving for egusi soup. We don't know, maybe it's pounded yam, he wants to go with it. He's not going to eat that rice.
Now, I don't know why.
He's been jobless.
I don't know why you are discussing this issue.
He's been jobless.
I have two ladies in the studio,
okay.
and I'm just
He's been jobless for 6 years.
Gender-based violence.
Listen to me, barrister. He's been jobless for 6 years. This woman provides. She caters for the home.
Yes.
She cooks. Still cooking though. I'm sure she's tired.
And she has
the
kids.
process of making the egusi.
That's a whole
time
lot.
than this. Guy.
Okay. Actually, you know, speaking as a man, a man can crave what he wants to eat. At any time.
Definitely.
And if you are talking about the woman has been providing for the home, also bear in mind that it's their home. It's not like it's the woman's home. It's their home. Anyway.
Okay. Sorry, before you go, we have a caller. Ayo. Good morning. You're welcome to the program.
Hello. Good morning. This is Ayo from Lagos.
Please go on with your contribution.
Can you hear me?
Please go ahead.
Okay, I guess we lost him.
Okay, I think we lost the caller. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Okay, so the man has. I will look at the issue critically.
Okay.
No bias, no sentiment.
Please go ahead.
First, the man has been out of work for 6 years. What we need to find out is it the man's fault that he's been out of work?
Okay.
In this present day, Nigeria has been man be searching for job and couldn't get. Perhaps these are all the
surrounding
uncertainties.
questions.
Yes.
Hope you are writing them.
Yes, I'm taking
Perhaps
notes.
the man has been searching for job for 6 years and didn't get a job. And the man has been trying. You know, he may also be buying pure water for the house. That's also providing for the house.
At least he's not doing that at all.
At all. He's doing something.
Is that enough reason for?
No, he's
I'm still analyzing.
Okay.
So perhaps he bathes the children in the morning and get them ready for school and drop them with the woman's car.
Typical African man do that.
Of course.
With the woman's car.
With the woman's car.
Okay.
And the fuel she bought with her money. It's fine. And so he's contributing something.
Definitely.
You know, contribution to the family is not about money alone.
Yes, it is not.
It's not about money
That
alone.
is agreeable.
I prepare my children for. That's my homework every morning. That's my morning.
nice.
That's my house every morning. I prepare
Few
them.
of the African men that
I prepare them for school every day.
Okay.
That's
Or the ones that will sit down across their legs.
Yes, they are
You
men
can
like
ask my
that.
wife.
Darling, do
daily,
this.
That's my
Darling, do
my
that.
morning chore. I wake up. I get
I'm
them
waiting
ready
for my
school,
breakfast.
and I take them to school. So
Okay, sorry. Aya is back. Please.
Okay.
Aya, please go ahead. We can hear you.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello, Barrister Chins.
yes, sir.
I guess he did not want you to be alone on the show.
Okay. I am calling from Lagos. I really appreciate you all for the contribution you all have been making. I really thank my sister Adishewa and Barrister Chins. I really appreciate you all for the good analysis you all are putting up there. At least we can say that we are seeing the youth vibrantly talking out for the good of the nation. And I can remember, I don't know if Barrister Chins remembered last at the All African Youth Congress that we attended together. That was the time I was opportune to meet with him, which happened in Ghana. If you recall, I said something then that our country happens to be a country that is well known all over the whole world. But the country right there, people are not knowing that it is not progressing. They all believe everybody wants to, if you say anybody, if you say you are from Nigeria, they want to associate with you. But right here in the country where we are blessed with all natural mineral resources, the country is not moving forward. And who are we to blame? If we continue to blame the leaders also, we ourselves, we should also blame ourselves. Because there are some aspects in which naturally human beings, we are, as in Nigerians, we have this clause as the Nigerians. So we have this kind of how will I call it, this kind of negativity about the country. So we should not also always rely on everything must be a leader. There was a day that the rain was falling heavily. When we talk about this, what are they calling it now that we have outside now?
Flood.
Like what is happening in Kenya. That is the global change in climate change. You see, there was a day I was going and I just saw somebody pouring death in the gutter because they wanted to go together with it. And I asked myself, Ayo, can you behave like this? You see, naturally, there are sometimes we blame leaders. Really, leaders have their own fault. But I want us to also always put it together in a way that such that we should see it as the leadership of the country is everybody's business. So it be security too is everybody's business. Anything we are doing, anything that has to do with this country is everybody's business. And we need to talk it out. We should continue to speak it out. The way you have analyzed it, I really, really appreciate it. But sometimes we should also talk to our fellow Nigerians.
Thank you very much, Ayo, for
there
your
is need for us to make sure that the country is exceeding greatly, not even physically now, when it comes to the society, within your workspace.
We'll have to cut him there. Thank you very much, Aya, for your contribution. Yeah. Security, whatever it is everybody's business, and change begins with you, with me.
We always say that.
Yeah.
I think that's part of our
Ayo said it right.
Yeah.
Everybody should be part of it.
Yes.
Everybody should be part of both the citizens and the government. As we hold the government accountable, so we also hold the citizens accountable. I know how many times I've accosted citizens who are doing the wrong thing and say, look, this thing you are doing is not right. So everybody should be accountable. So Ayo said it right. So going back to my conversation, so let me quickly finalize my analysis. I know the ladies are waiting to hear my final answer on this. So perhaps the man has tried to work and there's no work. But again, I must say that in our time, we have many irresponsible men. With all due respect to these men, we have many irresponsible men who want to sit at home and have a woman who goes there to work and then work her ass out, come back, feed you, take care of you in the other room, and also take care of the children and still give you finances. It is totally wrong. The Bible made it clear. I'm trying not to be very spiritual here, that a man that cannot provide for his household is worse than an infidel. So it is totally wrong. Now, this woman came back from work, and then to start with, you are not working. How much have you given her? Do you know how much egusi is in the market now? Egusi is very expensive.
Very expensive.
Egusi is very expensive. I went to the farm yesterday, and I discovered that the people in the farm, they are planted only melon. I was very curious. Somewhere in Nasarawa State yesterday, I was asking, so why do all over this farm what we planted mostly was melon? The woman in charge told me, sir, if you know the cost of melon now, you know that is why we had to scatter melon everywhere. So a melon is very expensive, and you're craving egusi soup. Do you know what it means to prepare a pot of egusi soup in present day Nigeria?
How much did you give her?
How much did you give her?
How much is she earning?
Away from there, this woman came in tired from work. Perhaps a 6 to 6 work or a 6 to 5 work. And then you went her to enter kitchen and then go and make egusi soup.
She tried that. She cooked the rice.
She cooked rice and gave you, and you are craving egusi soup. My brother, fear God. If you want egusi so much, you are sitting at home. You can make it. She too needs to come back home and see food on the table and see egusi soup made. You think she will not appreciate it? Like, she too needs to come back home and be taken care of. She's actually somebody's child. But this woman, where it stresses most is where you're the one taking care of the emotional situation in the family, financial situation, and physical issues and kitchen issues in the family. And it stresses one. The woman and you're telling her to resign. Let her resign. By the time September is closed, school fees is coming.
What about food? Weekly expenses?
No, the savings the woman has saved, they will use it for the period. Then by the time the man, perhaps they should swap roles for 1 week. Let the man work and then come back and cook. Men, we should do better. We are not, yes, you are the head of the family, but then the head, that is why we are calling on the government to step to to rise to the occasion. You too as a man should rise to the occasion. You should help out in the home. If assuming the man even went into the kitchen, help time picking the vegetables and then grinding the melon and then help her boil the meat. At least raise the stock for the soup. It would have been an easy thing, but you sit back as one way and watch Chelsea and watch Liverpool match.
And you know, men, you gender have ego. There's The ego is so
that's generalizing it. I won't sit. I won't sit here and have you talk to us in that manner. No.
You know, it's like, how dare you? I'm the man of the house.
Every woman has ego, including the woman.
Yeah, well,
including the woman. You agree with me very well.
Well,
So, but
like Barrister, when you rightly started, you said there is no job in the country.
Yes.
We know maybe he might be working in a very big place establishment before he was laid off or sacked him.
You know, down to this thing you're saying, I know a man that met me some months back. That was last year. The man had been trying to talk to me in church. I keep getting busy. So one day the man came to stand in front of my car that if I won't listen to him, I should run over him. So I had to come down and say, "God, what is it?" He said he had narrated to me how he was managing hotels in different places, and for the past 5 years he is out of work, and the wife is the only person providing, and he as a man is no longer comfortable. So he wants a hotel management job. I told him the truth is, I don't know where to get a hotel management job, but can you work somewhere small? Do you know, I was surprised. This man picked up a security job. You know what the man told me? I want to come home and I buy a loaf of bread and tell them I came home. The man picked up a security job somewhere. He did that work for about 6 months before he gets a job to manage a pure water factory. Wow. I was so shocked.
No,
I told him, he said yes.
He's a man.
So he picked up security job in one of the security outfits in town here. Worked in a place. Each time I drive to that place and see him, he will salute me, and I'm like, wow, this is somebody I know. He has about 3 cars.
He laid out his
has 3 cars,
his pride, yes, and whatnot.
He was managing hotels in Lagos before he relocated to this place. He was into contracts and all. He stooped down to work as security in a. Each time I drive there, I see the man. I feel somehow. I have goose pimple. Yeah. The humility
even
to come down. He said,
to this.
What he told me was what shocked me. He said that I want to come home and buy a loaf of bread. That my wife will be happy that at least
I brought something home.
So, men, we should come down from our high horses.
It's not.
You can go to farm. Okay. I said I went to farm yesterday. You can go to farm. You can go to places, warehouses, do something. You can just lay your hands on something.
Well, you know, Nigerians, they prefer to do some of these major jobs outside than to do that here. They can. Full-grown man will go and do security when they are abroad. They will wash plates abroad. They will wash dead.
Is that all they do abroad? I don't understand.
That is you get. So they believe, but here, like, okay, just do something to hold up the family. They say, no, I want something big.
A colleague told me to come over to UK. I say, so if I come now as a lawyer, what will I be doing? Because I know that if I go there, I have to go to their law school, and the process before I be called to bar there is another 6 years after I've established in Nigeria. So you're saying you can work in restaurants. Okay. So as I did now, I'm going to be opening door in a restaurant.
I'll buy statues.
Because I want to travel abroad.
Is it the pay now that
I don't mind. They should keep the pay, but then I think
but they used to justify it that it is sane. At least it is sane. Saner clients than here.
We'll stay here and make Nigeria sane.
So this man, as it stands now, what will be your advice to him? As in, what would be your advice?
He should go and kneel down and be thanking his wife. Say, thank you for providing for the family. Thank you for cooking for me. He fought every day.
Because we have men like that out there.
Are you saying we'll have men? We'll have plethora of men like that. Men in my generation. A young man met me and said, I'm looking for a lady that has a house in Abuja with 2 cars to marry.
Oh.
I'm telling you true life.
So what happened to him?
So I asked him, so how many cars do you have presently? He's trekking, and you're looking for a woman that has 2 cars.
Well, no, I think it's men that is digging the gold now. It's God that don't face that.
Let's not go into that part anyway.
No, it's good you brought it up. Let's open it. It is men that are digging that now.
Let's not go to that part.
It is men now.
No, Shewa, off your mic.
They are audacity. He just opened me now.
Off your mic. It's okay. Off your mic. Forget I said that. So, but my advice to the man is he should appreciate the woman. And the truth is, I want to appreciate every woman who goes out of their way to make sure that their family is together, providing for the family.
Okay, please just hold it there. We have a caller, Praise from Abuja. You're welcome to.
All right, ma'am. Thank you very much. I enjoy your presentation, and I wish to say, especially this current matter that is on ground about that's a family matter. And when a case is being represented or being presented, if you don't hear from both sides, there's contradiction in listening or having, because the content is not understood yet. what makes the man reacted that way, what makes the woman reacted that way. But it's because of the feeling of the woman or what has transpired, which we don't know the content yet. That is why that came. And one of the presenters quoted the scripture that's saying he wants to be spiritual, and it's a good one going that way. But the context of quoting that scripture was wrong, because it's in 1 Timothy. And there, what brought about that very verse is for the widows. So that person you are talking about is not a widow. And a widow is one whose husband has gone and is hoping on God and looking for somewhere else. Or so if a family member is rich and luxury to provide, such a person should be cared for. But as for this very situation or this context people are talking about, between that man and the woman, they know their challenges. The full story is not heard, and you can't conclude what it is. Because if you also listen to the man, he will tell you why that is acted. Or if he say, this is what I want to eat, why was this not provided, or why was this? So concluding it that way and say a man who doesn't provide for his household is worse than infidel, that is not the context from which that scripture was made. It was talking about the widow who is already not having anything, and someone in the family that has needs to extend a hand of generosity
thank you,
so
Mr.
as to help
Mr.
that person. But these people you're talking about, they are still living and they have what to do.
Thank you for your contribution.
That doesn't mean the man and the woman shouldn't understand themselves and see the ability or what they have.
Thank you very much for your contribution. I think he's getting it wrong
He's
from
quoting
the
me
angle.
He's even quoting me out of context. He's quoting me out of context. I think maybe he should have listened
your last
better.
word, so we round it off.
He's quoting me out of context. Anyway, for Nigerian government, please pay more attention to the citizens. You took oath of office to take care of us, and please take care of us. And for husbands and wives, we should do better for each other. Care is both way. The man takes care of the woman, the woman takes care of the wife. Yeah. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, I'm just going to speak more about hope. Let's just be hopeful and let's not die. That's just what I would say, because a lot of things that is happening, it's depressing actually, and you see a lot of people or young persons having midlife crisis at a very young age. Let's not die. That's what I say.
Please, let's live for tomorrow. We should. Like Ayo rightly said, everything that is going on in the country is everyone's business. The economy, the insecurity, the bedeviling the country. We need to stand up. We don't have to wait for the government to do the right thing. It can start, the change can start with us, can start with you. And after all said and done, your happiness is paramount, and you are the source of your joy. Please take this home. This is where we call it a day on today's edition of Now Streaming. Thank you for joining us. Let's do this again, same time, same station tomorrow. Until then, stay rapturable and remain blessed. I am Richard Ebunu. Bye for now.
How healthy is your mind? Well, Welcome, ladies, and the men who love them to living the life.
And we hope you've been living the life spiritually, physically, and mentally.
Mentally, that's the one we often forget.
Yes, so,
yeah. In fact, I remember some years ago when I first heard mental health. I thought I was like, they're talking about people who are crazy, madness. They are like, they are deranged and they are walking on the street. And I said, this person has mental health issues. But I soon came to realize through research and content online that it's not like it has nothing to do with it, but there are different stages. There's certain issues that present themselves as mental health issues, from depression, anxiety, panic attacks, and all of that. Yes, and that really helped me to redefine what mental health is.
The upsurge of mental health issues in the past years, it just tells me that, because we were a bit ignorant about things.
I'm telling you.
I mean, you're depressed, you are, in those days, it's like, if you're depressed, snap out of it. Do you understand? That was always the response we gave to things like that. So the upsurge over the years of people committing suicide with no apparent sign, then you find out that